I love writing short stories. And one of the coolest things about writing short stories is the end. There's such a small distance between the beginning and the end of the story. And it's almost like a TikTok video where you can enjoy something for a little while and it can sit in your brain and you can think about it for a while and kind of go on a small journey while you're going about your day. What got me started with doing short stories was a group of my friends were all sitting around talking about playing D&D, but nobody knew how to run a game. Nobody knew how to DM the game. And everybody was like, I want to play, I've never played, I don't know. And I was the only one that had any kind of experience in that sort of thing. And so I just kind of took the reins and I was like, okay, I'll do this. I'll come up with a one shot, a story that we can all kind of run through one night and, take 3 or 4 hours and just goof off, have fun, just try it out, see what's going on. Made a bunch of characters for all my friends and just asked them, like, what type of person would you like to be? What kind of abilities? Blah, blah, blah. And essentially just came up with a reason for a group of adventurers to go off and save somebody or find a thing or rescue the thing or, rescue themselves or whatever. The first night, they were very skittish up until the point where they realized that their decisions were not going to affect the end of the game. The game would still end at the end of the night. And so they got more and more bold and they got more and more creative with their decisions and their choices and their roles. And I got to sit back and watch them write the story in front of me. The next time we got together, they were super excited. Everybody was so thrilled. They were super happy. And we picked up at a completely different spot. And I even gave them different characters and other things like that. And they wrote the story with me that night. And I began to see how infectious it was for people's imagination to run wild in such a short period of time. And I thought, man, how can I share this with more people? And I realized that this is nothing more than just a short story. And I started writing more and more one-shots based around characters that I'd see in the Dungeon Master's book or in the Monster Manual or wherever else. And then I realized these are just short stories. And I could take these short stories and I could build them and I could create them around a small idea. I don't have to have this giant epic novel that's, rivals the Lord of the Rings or anything else like that. I can just write a short story about a cool idea that I have and give it an ending. And it doesn't even have to have an ending that makes sense or has to wrap up and tie up a bunch of different things. It can just be an ending, a cliffhanger, or giving people enough room to figure out if they like the story, where it was going, or whatever else. And just kind of kickstart their imagination into what they would experience in this thing. And it opens up a lot of dialogue for people to enjoy something in a very short manner without having a large commitment to a big thing. Like sitting down to watch Lord of the Rings, the extended edition, that's a good 9-10 hours, just the originals, and then you add The Hobbit. I mean, that's a serious commitment. 500-600 page or 500-600 word story, that's nothing. People read that all the time, all day long. And it's really exciting for me to know that I can lead people down a journey and just sort of watch them take the reins in the story and how would they finish things up? Would this make sense to their mind? And sort of let them experience the joy of imagining what it would be in these places. So it's a lot of fun for me.